when you look at Team Spirit, they play so fast, and FUT Esports might not be used to this kind of playstyle. They might be surprised. Of course, everything starts with the draft. Naisu and Team Spirit apparently are going to be on the blue side, the FUT Esports on the red side. Team Spirit likes to prioritize the Hiko hero. Obviously if the Marcel as well as the Hirara is banned here, so it's going to be the Marcel. Do you think that this is a Hirara for Team Spirit?
Yeah, I think you could just go with this. Go ahead and put that in the hands of ZAUREGOIST. Again, in the form of a best of 3, you might as well go ahead and play with what worked for you in your recent run through MSC. If it's not the Hirara, then I mean, what else would you go ahead and prioritize here for first pick blue side?
Can't think of anything else. Perhaps maybe the weirdest.
I mean, Atlas. They banned the Atlas. I was gonna say, yeah, they banned the Atlas.
Yeah. Yeah, just the Hirara. I feel like maybe a Paquito eventually, or a Paquito or a Melissa. Oh, there you go.
Good call.
Yeah. So it seems like they are prepared for the Hirara. And the thing is, Team Spirit actually likes to draft the Paquito very early because they can flex it. Every time that there is no Barretts on the opposite side, they put this Paquito on top of the list of their priorities because they can put it in the gold, they could put it in the jungle, they can even put it in the EXP if they wanted to. But that means that there's a lot of flexibility to go with it. Now, FUT Esports, they might be required to pick up both the Eudora as well as the Hirara. But it's Hirara and the Beleric.
Wolf, if this isn't a Eudora that's just picked over for Sunset Lover, I don't know what's gonna happen, just because I was expecting Beleric Eudora as well to be the trade, at least over on for FUT Esports, just because I can't remember exactly the win rate that Sunset Lover had on the Eudora, but I know he played it probably like 6 out of the 8 games towards their last couple matches that they had there for MSC, and there was just, it worked so well for them. Here we go, the Fanny's actually gonna come through. So ZAUREGOIST, another one of those just mechanically gifted junglers, and he's young. We wanted to see him play in the international back. I think it was M7. Where he wasn't old enough. He was only 15. Well, now he's 16, and he's a star jungler. And he's gonna go ahead and showcase the Fanny, one of the most technical heroes that you can pick up already. Paired it up with an Esmeralda to help with that front line. That's gonna go in the hands of Kid Bomba.
Yeah. Very honest for here, coming off of Team Spirit, revealing their three lanes, 2 side lanes, and their jungler already, or FUT Esports. They now have a shot at taking the Eudora for themselves. Of course, the Eudora with the Hirara is just a good combo. Instead, they will pick up the Melissa. And this is a natural hero in the gold lane right now in combination with the Hirara. I feel like this is a good jungle plus gold lane combo because you complement each other so well. Hirara buys a lot of time in the early stages. They both pop off in the 3rd turtle. And when it comes to late game, there is a lot of strength that you can you can get from the Melissa, especially in late game Lord fights. Because of the models, you actually deal so much damage into the front lines that you can transfer into the backliners as well.
Yeah, I like the surgence of Melissa, man. It was kind of one of those marksman pick that just came out of left field. It felt like this was not what I thought where the meta was going to go, where now Melissa is like one of these hot picks for gold lane. But it makes so much sense just because of where we are in terms of jungle meta. There's so many assassins now kind of causing havoc, and if you're not picking a fighter to put in that gold lane, then Melissa and maybe the Claude and Brody are probably some of the better choices that you can go for, because you're a little more self-sustaining, you're a little more, you have more capabilities of taking care of yourself in that lane. Her ultimate does just that, like you mentioned, and that's kind of good enough. This is interesting too that the Dairoth is going to be banned out here. If we recall, in some of those last matches of MSC, the Dairoth came through, and even in the hands of Yangon Galacticos, and it was like, oh, that's kind of scary, to see just how much burst and early advantage a Dairoth can get, and that's why it's going to be banned out, because Team Spirit, they remember how it was.
Yeah. A direct answer to their Esmeralda as well. Makes total sense to be banned here. There is also a lot of synergy between an assassin hero and the Daira because you have that minus armor. Actually, they can apply to your opponents, which generally means that assassin junglers that are tilted towards the physical side are incentivized to pick that up. However, for Team Spirit, I think they're going to be looking for another tanky hero to take away from FUT Esports from the EXP lane. Maybe an Alice, because what you generally do if you deploy the Melissa, you're going to be looking for two tanky dudes to protect this Melissa.
Two tanky dudes.
Yep. Well, Alice is not a dude, but it's very... very tanky.
You get what we're saying.
But I think you get what we're saying. And Ruby, apparently, interesting because you wouldn't think about the Ruby as a very tanky hero. It has low, not as much HP, but it is very tanky because of the resistances and the sustain. So they just man it out. The Eudora natural pickup. Team Spirit immediately picks up the Farsa, which is an answer to the Melissa. Gonna be looking for their roamer now, which probably is a Badang, perhaps.
Yeah.
And there was the Tigreal that we saw yesterday, which can also be good in this composition for Team Spirit because you just have so much stuns. But we'll see. I want to really congratulate Sawo for eventually getting into the finish line, eventually winning his championship, playing since M1. Oh my goodness! Now they're gonna be playing the show.
Gonna be playing the show, man. This is gonna be a showcase. I feel like for Team Spirit to see. You know, this isn't too different than what they showed us just last week to get the championship. Obviously, Coach Coldstar feeling pretty happy about it too. They're hyped up. They're ready for this, and we'll see. Pickoff potential is huge with the composition that Team Spirit has, and this is interesting. The Kufra comes out, so. I mean, hey, it's FUT Esports with the tanky dudes. They got Belric and Kufra.
That's right. Melissa plus two tanky dudes. Let's call it. Let's make that a thing. You know, because that's exactly
Melissa
what
and
we are
tanky
saying.
dudes.
Yeah, because you're gonna be looking for two tanky dudes to protect you, and then all of a sudden in the mid game, even when you're behind by 2,000 gold or 3,000 gold, you'll be surprised how much mileage you can get out of that trio. You can punish any kind of dive. You can slowly win the team fights by your box formation. And as long as you're just helping each other out, almost within the vicinity of each other to be able to help each other out, it's actually very easy to win late team fights. So I'm going to be excited about this Melissa pick if FUT Esports can do it. However, let's talk about Team Spirit's lineup real quick. With the Cho and the Farsa, a classic combo that means that you have a lot of ways to eliminate your opponents. You have the Fanny that can supplement the damage, and of course a very active Paquito coming out from Hiko, which we know has been so masterful with the gold lane Paquito. So that's exciting. The only problem that they have to face is the Kufra. As long as they don't fall into that Kufra trap, I think this solid composition from Team Spirit is going to be great in the early game.
Yeah, it looks like we're going to take a little breather while they get things situated here. It looks like it might be on Team Spirit side, but yeah, that's some of the main points there is just, you know, playing around that. I think, you know, even down to counter-wise, like Kufra, obviously, I would say most people would pick him up, you know, against the Fanny. You're kind of, but what I'm wondering is FUT Esports willing to go ahead and put enough pressure on ZAUREGOIST? I think you kind of have to. Like, if you're going to go ahead and take anything that we learned from their games over in MSC, you want to be that team to go ahead and make it so it's a really difficult time for ZAUREGOIST in the jungle. That actually happened to be the case for a lot of the teams. You know, how much pressure can you put on the jungle start for leading into, you know, Lith Wander and then that first turtle, right? That first objective. Can you delay them to solidify your early game a little bit better? We saw this in a lot of different ways where teams would either, man, most of the time though, it'd come down to like the middle lane, right? The mid lane, like there'd be so much bursting going on that at least, at the very least, a battle spell is expended, you know? And sometimes that would result into eventual first blood going to one of the junglers, right? Once they follow through of, let's say a Flicker was burnt or Purify was burnt, And so that's something that can be said here. Like, are they going to put enough pressure on Team Spirit, or will we see that from Team Spirit against FUT Esports? Because I think, it's a little more difficult to do. And then, of course, you want to go ahead and play into that gold lane advantage if you can get one.
Yeah, I guess when you look at this gold lane meta game that we have, specifically on when we were just focusing on the meta game for the gold lane hero selection of the teams, it's more like how do you complement your jungler? Because there are so many different approaches to it. For example, the Paquito, one of the best heroes to flex right now. As long as there's no Barretts in the opposite end of the draft, you're gonna be okay. If the Barretts is with you, then all the better, right? Because XP Barretts and Gold Lane Paquito, that's a very strong side lane duo. All you need is an assassin to pick it up. And the reason why the Paquito is really good in the gold lane is that it wins most of the marksman matchups. So if it's facing up against most traditional marksmen, like a Claude, for example, or even a carry, it's like the Paquito will always have ways to win that lane. Melissa is a more difficult matchup, I feel like, but at the same time, you still can just fast clear the wave, cut it actually if you need to, and still be stable in that lane. And then you can participate in the first turtle or the second turtle, right? There's so many things that you can do, and that will allow you to amplify even the farming of your jungler, because the jungler now can freely run around the map, around the jungle camps, can go to the lane and whatnot, right? Then you have another option, which is now between Melissa and the Brody. These two marksman heroes are played almost like fighters, because they also will not lose their lanes. That's the thing. And they can participate in teamfights much faster than a Claude or a Moskov. And speaking of the Claude and the Moskov, they're like the outliers. They're the traditional marksmen that you probably will have to pair with utility junglers like Guinevere. So I think that's generally how the teams are looking at the gold lane meta game right now. So I wouldn't be expecting a lot of Claude and Moskov because Melissa and the Brody is just too strong, and as was the Paquito, too strong of an option to pass up on.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, again, that's why the Paquito has popped up quite a bit, just as one of those kind of like mainstays into the gold lane now. We should be jumping back into the game in a bit here. I did see that they probably had to go ahead and maybe remake or make something happen there. As you can see, the players kind of getting situated. It should all be the same draft, though. I'm pretty sure it's all the same draft and everything. And that's why, we're kind of dipping into a little bit more of what could potentially happen here. Again, so much can change off the first couple of minutes, honestly, when you get into this game. And eventually, again, we've seen it before where the gold lane might not even matter too much if somehow ZAUREGOIST just pops off, man. If he just pops off on the Fanny and is unleashed, we've seen it before, like 10-minute games. I think what was the fastest game time we had in MSC? I think it was like, I want to say under 9 minutes. I could be.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like 8:50 something. Off the top of my head, but
I think it eventually became exactly 9. But yeah, I think it's around 8:50, and it probably came from Aurora Gaming, right?
Yeah, I think it was. Was that the Liquid game?
I think that was the Liquid game, actually.
I feel like everybody's just kind of, like that was like people woke up the next day being like, did that actually happen? It was like a dream almost, and it's one of those cases where that's just where we are in the meta right now. It's kind of a weird place where it's this, games can happen really, really fast, and before you know it, looks like they're back in the redraft here, so they're probably just going for the same picks, I would assume. Okay. Yeah, so we'll have the same picks here, and so everything that we kind of theory crafted for our first matchup is pretty much still there. It's just, again, the execution factor, and I think if anything, FUT Esports is the ones that have to kind of rise to the occasion here, Wolf. Just because of what we've seen from Team Spirit and how good they look as a team.
Yeah, they have to brace themselves for specific stages of the game. When the first 2 minutes, because of the idea of having the Fanny, I think for FUT Esports, they're going to be more incentivized into keeping this Kufra I guess topped up all the time, right? Sometimes when you're a roamer, you're tempted to kind of sacrifice yourself, sacrifice some of your farm because you're a roamer anyways. It feels like, okay, if there's someone who can be eliminated from our team or die from our team, it's going to be better if it's going to be the Kufra or the roamer. However, I think in this scenario, because of how much the Kufra can do against the Fanny, against the Paquito, and then of course the Cho, it kind of means that you kind of have to preserve your farming as well, your health, generally speaking, as the Kufra. Maybe the more sacrificial role here is the Beric from the EXP that they chose to go for. The Kufra needs to always be a threat up against Team Spirit. That's what I feel like. So I think that's how they should brace themselves in the early game. Eventually, this Eudora will be their solution to the Fanny. Although the Fanny is a hero that can also take out the Eudora easily. When you time it perfectly with the flicker, with the stun coming out from the Eudora, maybe you have a chance. So these are the heroes that I feel like should be the point of focus for FUT Esports.
Yeah, there's a whole lot, I feel like, you know, focus-wise, and that's why we're always talking about early game. That's really where things are established. It's just this weird case now where even if you have the early game on lockdown, we've seen it too, where like 6,000-7,000 gold leads can be, you know, turned over. That potentially can happen too. So, again, as we wait to jump into this game one, we'll find out exactly where that's going to go. I think the other thing to ask is just why is, other than the fact that Melissa's pushing away these assassins, Wolf, why is Melissa like so, why is she so good? You know, why is she, is her late game potential, late game scaling that good that she's just kind of this fallback now?
Okay, yeah. So a quick answer to that is yes. And the reason why that is because there's an option to attack multiple targets. It's unlike the carry where you have a single target hero. Of course, heroes like the Claude also can do AoE damage, but also that only happens during an ultimate. But for Melissa, you have at least 2 or 3 targets that you always can hit because of your models. And that models is actually also the reason why Melissa is always the priority, because because of that skill, you actually turn into an early game hero. Not all marksmen are really good in the laning stage and the first, second, and third turtle, but because of the models, again, you can contribute to the fights. You can be a threat. You have good laning coverage because you can just pop your models, fast clear the lane, and hit the opposing gold laner in the process. When unchecked, Melissa is really strong in the early game, and that's the reason why teams are starting to pick up on this hero.
Yeah, I feel like the models is enough to like zone out, you know, like even on your turret, like sometimes you see that already happen. What does she need? 2 items to really hit that power spike, or is she more like, because, you know, like the Claude is probably the most common marksman that picks up is, you know, that Trinity.
Yeah, also Trinity, but second item when positioned properly, that kind of falls around the first, before the first Lord fight. You have 2 items and maybe half a third item, and if you are protected well with, again, 2 tanky dudes in front of you, you can actually output a lot of damage even with just 2 items. But yeah, generally you want to get your Trinity as the Melissa, and that is almost the same time as any traditional marksman.
Well, we'll wait a little bit longer to jump in.
Yeah.
Again, you know, I think I don't know, man. Team Spirit's run through MSC has been insane. Again, they were able to go ahead and make history. You know, if you guys missed that, you go back and watch it. Maybe they replicate another historic run here through Games of the Future. And this is kind of what Wolf mentioned. You know, this is kind of like this new era of MLBB where you have these other regions rising up. And who's to say that? Maybe, I don't know, maybe for the Digital Games of the Future for 2026, we have even a different region come through. I mean, I see their hands moving, so we might be jumping in the game here shortly.
Hopefully. They're also shot calling now. Okay. So we're seeing their actions right now, which kind of tells us that, yeah, probably they're going to be into the game, but it could also be a test game because, you know, we want to make sure that everything is tested correct. Okay, we are in the game.
We're in the game.
So that's 30 seconds in. Now we're looking at this Paquito going up against the Melissa up top, and I think the idea for both of these gold laners is to just faster their waves. Paquito is going to be more incentivized to get level 2, and once he gets level 2, now that lane is actually easier for Hiko.
Yeah, some of these, obviously these first rotations looking a little bit different just because of, the nature of having a Kufra. Obviously, you can't get too far forward up front against this Eudora just because you don't want to go ahead and get poked down already. But looks like both junglers go ahead and start to grab their buffs. You have Kazue go ahead and rotating to that orange. So this is one of those cases where now you're not going to have these first bloods off the bat. It might be one of those things where it's just, fighting into that first turtle in about 30 seconds.
Yeah. And that being said, I'm curious about this Belleric and how they are going to be able to use it, because the idea for the Belleric is to be that tank. But usually from the EXP, you can also consider outputting some damage, which means that you can farm faster, maybe get the blade armor quicker than your team, assign the radiant armor to your Kufra. It seems like it's going to be the battle for the turtle now.
Good use of the iframes, but they get the lockdown already. Zaro jumping in. He's going to be stopped in his tracks, though. He's got to get out. Good defense there from FUT Esports. Kazue barely surviving, utilizing 2 of those iframe interactions as well. But this opens up the turtle now for Team Spirit.
Part of the reason why I really like watching Team Spirit during their MSC run was because of how coordinated they were, and you saw how the stun layering coming up from Team Esports were pristine. Again, when you jump with the stomp from Sao, you immediately have the falling star moon, and then the Curse of the Crow is already ready, as now the turtle fight is going to commence. Actually, Kazue gets the turtle away from Team Spirit.
Wow, turtle secured. Kid Bomba, though, getting the first blood. So they go for a trade. A little bit of extra gold over here to ZAUREGOIST. Does some damage to Blotsfed, but not enough yet to go ahead and shred through that tankiness. There's a kick, though. Big Way the Dragon on Kazue. Pressure on the purple. They want to go ahead and take this away here after they traded out the objective. They're going to go for it. It's a bloodbath anyway in the jungle. Blotsfed down. Sao trying to get away, and he does with the Jeet Kune Do, but Kid Bomba will be the trade.
A 1-for-1 trade-off. And that generally means that ZAUREGOIST will just take care of his own jungle. They are just stopping FUT Esports' momentum. Right now, they're going to be focusing on taking out some jungle camps away from FUT Esports. And right now, there is going to be some pokes in the middle once again. That's Blotsfed there. I think they just want to force the bouncing ball so that they will have allowed ZAUREGOIST to just dive into the backlines.
Well, Sao's going to have a little bit of a difficult time trying to get away from this. Kazue using the retribution to slow him down a little bit, and we'll be able to pick up the kill. Kazue making it happen, and now pressure on Hiko. Hiko's going to go ahead and heal back up. He's got the regen. He'll back off a little bit, but he'll stay there near the turret. Kazue will just go for these camps, taking some of the green camps away from Team Spirit, but hold on. I think he got there in time. Not sure if ZAUREGOIST actually got there in time to get his camp. He is level 7, so he's slightly ahead, but whoa, they're going to make a play anyway on Hiko. Hiko gone very quickly. Again, that stun that comes through with Eudora is just so strong.
Yeah, and they even denied the cart from Hiko. Sunset Lover taken out. FUT Esports, foot on the gas, actually, right now, as they are outspeeding Team Spirit's rotation. They have collected 2 kills up top, a double kill for their jungler, now at 4-0, and they will be poised to take this second turtle of the game. Now they do jump in. They threaten for more kills. Sao just barely escapes that. And the response from ZAUREGOIST is just to go for that jungle camp at top as they take out Sao, who already escaped death, but he bestows back into the turtle. Kazue collects his 5th kill of the game.
Well, if someone would say their foot's on the gas,
yes,
because FUT Esports right now, I mean, what was Sao trying to do? I think he was just trying to give some information, but not expecting just how quickly he could probably get bursted down there. Again, you gotta respect this Eudora. It's kind of busted, man.
Yeah.
You know, we saw. I mean, Sunset Lover used it for how many games? They should know that once you get that lightning ball on you, once you get stunned, you get comboed, you got the conductor on you, you're in a bad position, especially if you're by yourself there. So until he gets some magic resistance, I think that's going to be one of the big cases here for Sawo on this Cho, because just he gets the dominance ice, but you know, that helped a little bit, obviously, with the healing that comes through with the 2 tanky dudes. And I think they actually don't have a Revitalize on the Belric just because it's in the XP lane for Exi.
Yeah. And I think what Zao was trying to achieve during the turtle fight was for information, because I see Zaurego is just focusing on taking away the jungle camps from FUT Esports. It's more like a farming tool for their jungler.
Oh, what a call.
Go for reach. Oh, what a call. Zaurego was so far away, but in comes the Wrath of the Dryad. Nice.
Yep, there it is. They're going to fight in the jungle anyway. Sawo looking for the kick if he could find one. Not the best target, though, as Exi drives him off and chases Hiko. Bit of a trade. Now in the mid lane, Zara's able to get away. That's one of the main things, though. He picks up a blade. Now the Malefic Roar. He's got 2 powerful items now in the hands of this Fanny for Zauregos. So if they are able to go ahead and do something like that again, find someone to pick off, there's going to be a big burst of damage here. Kid Bomba doing his thing, keeping RX and the rest of the team on the disengage. They want to start opening up the map here.
Kid Bomba. Now, there's going to be a swap between the gold laner as well as the EXP laner. And that means that the turtle will now be taken by Team Spirit easily. Taking it up top. This is a much better lane configuration for Team Spirit because Kid Bomba can easily get out of sticky situations because of the Purify. Also tankier than the Paquito at this point. So it's just natural for them to utilize this Esmeralda in front of the Melissa for now. Kid Bomba actually collecting some farm. They initiate on Sunset Lover. There's a quick initiation there and a quick elimination as well. FUT Esports, their pickups are so good.
This is so coordinated from FUT Esports, man. I mean, when they can find a potential pick, they go for it. They make it happen. They know how to utilize the kits that they have in these heroes. Sawo, is he going to go for Psyche here? He wants to go for the kick. There it is. Wade the Dragon right in the hands of Kid Bomba. Do they have enough damage, though, to capitalize on this? Sun already came through. Should be able to take out Psyche at least, and they'll do just that. A good setup, a good pickup for Team Spirit there.
They feed it to Kid Bomba, who now has got his Oracle, so it's going to be a good tempo for Team Spirit as they jump forward to go away from RX.
Oh, that just feels so bad, but here comes Kid Bomba charging up. Go Away's already gone. You can't push him back any further, and Hiko comes in with a 1-2 punch. Able to take out the turret, looking for the follow-up on Blot's Vet here. They pick up 2, Team Spirit. Objective and kill secure.
Now, they even utilize the Feather there, strike for more damage and more vision, and they have taken out the turret. They will collect this orange buff now. They have to run away now because the Hirara is here.
Yep, Hirara's there. I see. You're punching a tree, man. He's going to be able to get away, but Hiko doesn't have the champ stance, the stacks that he was looking for, but he does enough damage too. You can already see these itemizations really playing its part now for Team Spirit. FUT Esports, they've done a lot of good coordinated attacks, but they just need to go ahead and readjust. Wow. Being brought real low Psyche here just off of a couple feathered airstrikes.
That's the poke now. It's a lot of, I guess, FUT Esports relieve their foot off the gas because now Kazue, okay, want to go for a kill on Sawo. I think they will get it. That's 7 kills now, and they want more. Look at the jump. Purify far too late. A double again for Kazue, and he gets the purple buff too. All of a sudden, FUT Esports, it's not just the gas pedal, it's the nitro pedal. I don't know if there is a pedal for nitro, but the games I've played before had one.
Hey, there's a button for it right now. Looking to take this Lord, looking to take the life of Kid Bomba. They do just that. Right now, they are stacked up. Kazue especially, 8-0-1. Lord secured now. This has been the plan the whole time. They'll play the map. Team Spirit will take down a base turret. They're going to try to get away. Hiko gets Retribution. I don't think you're going to be able to escape Kazue. The rest of the team will be there to clean him up. He gets the shields that he can, but he's gone so quickly. The Sky Piercer is online here for Kazue at 9-0.
However, they do get the push onto the bottom lane. FUT Esports losing their inhibitor very early into this game. Now, they will have the Lord on their side, going to be pushing in the mid. Oh, Sawo in a tight corner right now might be Might be
Oh,
forced to use the flicker, but the jump coming up from the Kufra. They take another one. That's 10 kills for Kazue on this Hirara.
man, this is the problem that we saw throughout MSC, throughout this meta, is this Hirara with multiple full stacks. You know, games when you get this full stack Sky Piercer, you're just a menace. Kid Bomba's gonna jump in, Feathered Airstrike drop down. You gotta push going up the top. They gotta deal with this Lord as Kid Bomba is gone. Hiko trying to buy some time, dodging into this fight, but this turret is going down. They still have a Lord here. Does FUT Esports want to end the game? They're gonna try to make it happen. They go in. ZAUREGOIST able to clear out that Lord. They got to clear out these minion waves too. They want to stay in this game one. It's only 11 minutes in, but you got Kazue just unrelentless on this fully stacked Hirara. And I think these tanky dudes aren't just protecting the Melissa, man. They're protecting the Hirara.
Yeah, it seems like they have double duties this time. And if that's the thing where when you are drafting the Hirara as well as the Melissa, when we talked about how the strength of these heroes in combination with each other as they jump Kazue, no tanky news over there. There's a big shutdown. They get so much gold out of that bounty.
Oh.
And Team Spirit has equalized right now when it comes to the gold.
Oh, not just that, but you get stacks. You get some stacks out of the way in the hands of Kazue. So that's big shutdown gold, reducing some of the stacks that he had on the fully stacked Sky Piercer. Now they're looking to take this tier 1 turret. Purple buff was stolen as well, so now trying to make a move. Sao in trouble. Kid Bomba jumping to help out. Feathered Airstrikes a little bit too far here for reach. Still, they don't have a minion wave to push in. It's been cleared out. Kid Bomba now trying to disengage after Sao was brought down. This has been a very difficult game for Sao to get those kicks that he's looking for. He's had a couple, but you see how hard it is to actually find your targets, especially when there's a big bouncy ball right in front of you.
Yeah. Gofra is a problem for the Cho, as it always has been. And then if you add in the Belleric, which has almost a reset button with a taunt, kind of means that it's really difficult to find your angles. And it's not like the Melissa is an easy target for a Cho because of the go away, because of the natural kit of that hero is the Melissa. It's really hard to catch if you're the Cho. So overall, this is not an easy game for a Cho, I would say, for Savo. But we'll see. Lord Dan's gonna commence now, Naisu.
Oh, FUT Esports starting it up. Sao's got an immortality this time. He's gonna pop the conceal. He's gonna look for the right target. Gets the iframes out of Kazue. He's trying to kick him if he can. They're trying to look for an opening. Kazue's still able to get the Lord. They're going to call it off, try to disengage, but this could be bad for Team Spirit. Immortality already going to be popped. Zara is able to find one, though, on Psyche. Still trying to get away as Sawo falls. Kazue, though, next. But they can't follow through. So another Lord secured for FUT Esports. And right now, the 1-for-1 trade, 4 members strong into FUT Esports. They want to get into this base and take down the Crystal. They're going to unleash a couple shots here on Kid Bomba. Hiko, fully stacked, looking for Kazue, but the damage, the burst is just too much, and now Kazue, he'll be going down, but the rest of the team wants to lock on the Crystal. They can just lock on the base and end it here, but Team Spirit is doing everything they can. They deal with the Lord. The go-away going to be popped. Wind of Nature as well. Hiko falls, Zara's back. They're looking to take out RX, but they just can't get to him. And now Zar looking for blocks. Won't be able to take him out. There's the Raptor Drag coming in from XC. They want to win this team fight. Sawo falls. They might be able to lock on the Crystal now, but the Cannon Minion is stuck there. They bought enough time to clear it out. Now Zar needs to stay alive. They've used almost everything, but with Sunset Lever back, Team Spirit's able to defend it. They finally killed RX.
Wow, my goodness. I wonder what ZAUREGOIST's APM was during that moment. There's no way to track it, but my oh my, did he click a lot of buttons during that moment. And he survived. He defended because of his heroics once again. The Team Spirit are alive. All it took was Sunset Lover to respawn, and now they have the threat for the Melissa. And to be fair, RX was playing so well. Everybody from both of these teams, Team Spirit, actually forced the teleport coming out from XC because of what Hiko was able to achieve in the bottom lane. Even though they didn't know that Hiko eventually recalled out of there, it kind of baited them in a spot where somebody has to go back to base. And that meant that FUT Esports did not have the mana advantage when they were pushing. They do have the Lord when they were pushing the mid lane, but they didn't have the man advantage. And Team Spirit kind of capitalized on that with a lot of outplays they did through ZAUREGOIST, through Kid Bomba, hanging on. Now at 15 minutes, we are going to see the two teams just even it up when it comes to scores. Fortunately for FUT Esports, they've pushed the top lane too, which means that the opposite lane of the upcoming Lord is going to be in their side.
Oof, talk about one of the best defenses we've seen, at least in this current meta, man. I mean, the way they were able to go ahead and maintain that, given how much FUT Esports fought around that Lord, was quite impressive. Again, there's a reason why Team Spirit are the recent MSC champions, and they're looking to be the champion here for Games of the Future 2026. Oh, they're looking for a cutoff. They're looking for Psyche. They're going to get trapped into the jungle here. Wrath the Dragon already dropped down. Sunset Lover can't escape, though. Good pickup by Psyche. Now Psyche trying to survive. He's going to get bladed down. Sao not able to find the opening he was looking for. Hiko did get the kill. Kid Bomba, though. Immortality going to be popped. They're going to clean up this kill. They have nothing that they can do. Lord's going to be worked on, though, but that top wave is pushing into the base, taking down another base turret. Hiko trying to bob and weave through there. Couple punches, couple combos. Right. Lord, Court of Health. ZAUREGOIST, is he going to be able to try to steal this? I think he's zoned out so much, but he's still going to look for an opening. He goes the pressure. They're going to reset the Lord. Big kick, though, comes through. A huge kick on RX. What a team fight again from Team Spirit. And now it's just the two tanky dudes on the disengage. They're going to be chased down here in the jungle. Hiko with the double. Another big pickup. It's all terrible for FUT Esports. Finally, Psyche is up, though, but they're going to have to defend now.
Now, XC is alive with the immortality now low. Flicker forward to actually dodge Team Spirit. I don't know if that was intended, but it worked nonetheless. Gotta be careful if you're Psyche. Although 12 seconds now, RX will be alive. Team Spirit did not go for the Lord. XC does not have the ultimate right now. Does have the taunt though. Actually catches the minions. And now, but enough time for the wave clear of FUT Esports. Heroics. And very nice movement coming up from XC. Gathering the aggro. Now Sunset Lover in trouble. He's gonna survive for now. Lord being worked on by Team Spirit. It's still at 50% HP, which kind of means that FUT Esports might actually take this Lord for themselves.
Oh, they're threading the needle here, Wolf, right now for this Lord, holding it at half health. They sent Sunset Lover back. He was so low, and now we might see the same thing happen again like we just saw for this previous Lord dance. It's gonna reset. Sunset Lover is back. He's going to keep them at bay. It is going to evolve, though, so much stronger Lord now to deal with. These shots are going to hurt even the tankier members, but whoa, ZAUREGOIST! He gets shut down and trapped by the lightning ball. The Lord goes over to FUT Esports. Sao with a desperate kick. Immortality pop. Not going to happen, though. Hiko on the hunt for Psyche. Psyche survives with the flicker, and FUT Esports should have just won them the game off that fight. Man, oh man, it looked like Team Spirit wasn't sure if they wanted to end the game in that base, and they decided to go ahead and pull to the Lord, but that would have cost them as they go. FUT Esports jumps in. They want to take the kills, but they'll take game one in this best of three.
What an unbelievable game, Naisu. That's just game number one, but it was a great exchange from Team Spirit and FUT Esports. This is absolutely not the FUT Esports we saw yesterday. They have improved so much. The moment that they face Team Spirit, it feels like they have awakened. They have showed us how it's done. And Psyche on that last clash, outplaying many members of Team Spirit, was the reason why they were able